Hey guys, just finished watching Arrow, Season 7, Episode 19, Spartan. This episode was kind of interesting. I mean, on this episode was just kind of okay and stuff, but the teases that it sets up for the future could be quite interesting. Now, they've been teasing things like this since very, very early on in the show and stuff, ever since, the fans have heard of John Diggle and stuff in Arrow and stuff. There's just so many teases in this episodes of him being Green Lantern or becoming Green Lantern, especially with setting up Ernie Hudson as his stepfather as General Stewart and stuff. And I think that's really good and interesting to see as to where things kind of go with this and stuff, with the storyline, to see if he does become Green Lantern. I think that'd become something kind of interesting for this show. Although, a spin-off where John Diggle is Green Lantern, I don't think that would really work, especially not on the CW. The budgets for these shows are just way too low for something like that. So for Green Lantern, I don't think you would ever see him do anything like that. And if they did do a Green Lantern, it would be kind of a very... It would end up being... I feel like it would end up being on a CW show. It would just be, him using the Green Lantern whenever he wanted. Like, he'd just have a green fist pop up and punch people, and that's it. He wouldn't be, flying in outer space and doing all kinds of Green Lantern stuff that you want to see, right? He would just be kind of, an Earth-based Green Lantern show, which wouldn't do the mythology justice and stuff. So we'll have to wait and see. Maybe they could set him up as becoming a Green Lantern, and then when Arrow ends, he kind of goes off and does his own thing in the galaxy and stuff. And maybe once every now and then, during the big crossovers, he shows back up to make some cameos and stuff as like a guest appearance. That could be something fun. And then you have him as Green Lantern whenever he really needs to be there, and not having him all the time. If he's only there like once a season, or once every 2 or 3 seasons, he joins the big crossover, that could be something interesting to see, and it could be something fun to see it like that. That way the special effects can be done properly, and they can put the time into it instead of having him having a whole show with him. I just don't think that would really work with this on these CW budget shows. But I like how we jump right off. We get Ernie Hudson right away from the start and stuff. That was really good. It was really cool. Even before we even see his name as a guest star in the credits, in the opening credits and stuff, that was really good. Because I kind of hate it when they always kind of spoil the stuff in the credits throughout the show. I mean, I knew Ernie Hudson was coming in here, following all the actors on Instagram and online and stuff, and following the show online on their social media. But there are some people who, put blinders on and don't want to watch anything, don't watch the trailer for the next episode, and just, unless it happens to play before online, or they avoid this stuff and they just watch the show when it's out, or something like that. Or if you're watching it on Netflix later on, you're streaming it on a streaming service, and you get the spoilers that a guest star is going to be in the show, and that's kind of disappointing. So I'm really glad that they put this beforehand, and so that way the credit doesn't spoil the reveal here. We see that Tisler found out that his last name is Stewart again. We also get a reference to Booster Gold. We get a reference to, who do we get a reference to? Mercury Magnus Labs, and as Felicity says, they're like the gold standard, and that kind of, it's a classic, the gold standard. That's Booster Gold's catchphrase, right? But if you look at Magnus Labs, online here, it says that they were responsible for the Metal Men, rocket discs, and responsometer. So the Metal Men are really something interesting. That could be something that could be teased or something like that. They do also tease later on that the Ninth Circle are working on these kind of robots and stuff, so maybe this could be the kind of early version of Metal Men type thing. So I think that could be something kind of interesting. But the Metal Men seem more like something that they'd want to save for the Doom Patrol or the DC streaming service, like with the Doom Patrol show. Although with those shows not really doing very well financially, so we'll have to wait and see as to where things go with them. But if they're setting up either Booster Gold or setting up the Metal Men, I think Booster Gold seems a little bit more, more likely and stuff. Especially with Ledger of Tomorrow, you can set him up there and have, if there's talk about that doing a spinoff from Arrow with the Futurecast and stuff, which I think would be kind of it would be okay. I'd rather just kind of leave them in the future and not have their own show, but have some of them come into this time and have some of them, have use Legend of Tomorrow to have those characters go to Legend of Tomorrow and join that show from the future, and then they could use that to kind of get towards to drop one of them off at in Flash or Supergirl or Batwoman, because Batwoman's going to be on the same Earth as Arrow, Flash, and Legends, and then Supergirl, I'm assuming, after Crisis on Infinite Earth, that'll be all one Earth. That would be the smart move to do that, so I think that could be fun there. And you could kind of separate the kind of future cast, having them, put them all on a season of Legend of Tomorrow, and then you could, after that, have them kind of spread out throughout all the different shows. I think that'd be the way to go for some of the actors who want to stick around from Arrow after season 8. So we get a line, another line teasing Jon Stewart as or John Diggle as Green Lantern. You're not going to will those things to break and stuff. So then they're kind of tied up on the chairs with the tie wraps. General Stewart said you're not going to wheel those away. That was kind of another poignant moment. It was like, oh wow, that stood out, almost capital will the way he said it, right? So that was really cool there. And then we end the episode with Emiko killing Dante. So this episode, I kind of liked it. But I mean, the Emiko stuff, I'm kind of just like, nah, whatever. I've seen this stuff before. It seems very repetitive. There's nothing kind of new about this Emiko storyline. I'm kind of losing interest into it. What really got me interested is all the hidden teases and the fact that they're extremely teasing John Diggle becoming Jon Stewart, becoming a Green Lantern, So I think that's really kind of throughout this. And every time they would tease this, I kept on having John Wesley Shipp's line from the Flash 90, Flash from Earth 90. His line from the crossover that we had when he's like, John, where's your ring? That. So I just can't wait to see as to where things go with all these teasers. As far as the actual season storyline, not really interested in it. It's kind of boring, but we'll have to just wait and see as to where things kind of go with this. And it feels like because they've announced the end of the show. There's no kind of stakes anymore for this show for Oliver. The stakes have been completely taken away because we know, well, we're gonna get 10 more episodes, and he's probably gonna die in those 10 episodes. Either the last 10 or episode 9, which should be the crossover, and then have one more after it for like the funeral of Oliver Queen or whatever. So we'll have to wait and see. But it just feels like for season 7, because we know it's the end, last season is coming up, it just takes away some of the kind of the weight for this season. It doesn't make it kind of feel like, oh, they're not going to kill him off now. They have 10 more episodes to do, right? So we'll have to wait and see as to where things go with this. But the Jon Stewart stuff and the Green Lantern teases is what really got me excited for this episode. So let me know what you think, guys, about this episode in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
I'm Captain America, here to talk to you about one of the most valuable traits a soldier or student can have.
Subscribing.
Sometimes is the key to victory. Sometimes it leads to very little, and it seems like it's not worth it. And you wonder why you waited so long for something so disappointing. How many more of these?
You're still here.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Peace.
It's over.